All right. Let's pay attention. Pay attention. So now we're going to talk about fractions and decimals. All right? Fractions and decimals. So as you can see, what does this look like to you?
A pie chart. Pizza.
I don't like pie, so we're going to call it pizza, right?
You like pie? I want.
The only pie that I like is the pumpkin pie, so I like pizza, right? And my favorite pizza is Hawaiian.
No.
And pineapple.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Best.
It's so good. It's not my favorite, but I love it.
So,
My favorite is pineapple and pizza. Huge like chunks of pineapple. That's what you said. I like medium-sized pineapple. No. I like my favorite kind of pizza is buffalo chicken. But I love pizza. Yeah, bro. Who drew it? Or let me see. Alina drew it and I outlined it.
so here, look. Pay attention here, right? So I have a pizza, a large, possibly, right? A large pizza, right?
That's impressive.
And let's assume that this is you can eat it if you want pepperoni, right? Let's assume that Nora
Big bag.
chooses to be
I have
greedy,
number 7.
right? And she eats,
I have number 2. I want the nice slice.
wait. Let's say Nora eats about
Got minus 7.
let's see.
I want the 6.
Oh, let's see this here. Let me change something here,
You look for
right?
big back life.
So let's assume that the pizza looks like this for now, right?
You'll get a big back pie.
So we have, let's say we have about, again, this is not evenly done. Forgive me for my drawing, right? Let's say this is what we have. Hey, quiet everybody. Quiet for a second, right? Let's assume that Nora eats about 4 slices.
Dude,
Right.
I eat 5 or 6. I eat 2.
So let's say she eats about 4 slices,
I eat number 7.
right? 4 slices, that's what she eats. Yeah, listen. Now, if she eats 4 slices of this pizza, right? How many slices do we have in total?
There's something stuck on my
We have
throat.
8 slices there. She's ate 4 slices, right? So if you were to write this as a fraction, what would that be? She ate 4 out of what? 4 out of 8. So the word is 4 out of 8, right? And if you want to write this as a fraction, that will be 4 over 8. So this is a fraction, right? This is called a fraction. Now we're going to learn how to write this as a fraction, as a decimal with a terminating decimal, right? As a terminating decimal. So we're going to go from fraction to terminating decimal. What's a decimal? A decimal is a number that has what? A dot in it, right? So now let's try to divide 4 over 8, right? You guys know your division, right?
Yeah,
So I want to try to divide this,
that's
right?
not possible.
How many times does 8 go into 4?
None.
None. So we do what? Put a 0 and then do what? Add a dot. And then turn this into what?
A 0.
A 0. Right? And now we go, how many times does 8 goes into 40? 5. 5 times 8 is what? 40. And then you stop. So anytime you get a remainder of 0, you stop. Right? So 4 over 8 can be written as what? As a fraction. That will be 0.5. So literally, she's greedy. She ate half of the pizza. Right?
6.
Now, right? So literally, now, hold on a second. Wait. What's the fun fact?
My least favorite thing on the entire planet is world studies and long division.
Okay.
So you get to see me hate my.
All right, now let's assume that.
World studies.
Now we gave. Let's go to Gabe now.
I love mystery.
Right? Hey.
He's such a good teacher.
All right, quiet. Let's go now to Gabe. Right, Gabe comes and Gabe says this. All right. She
You're
ate.
kidding, right? When you said you like world studies.
Gabe says that she ate half. Right? And then he goes and whines and say, hey, Nora ate like half of the pizza. We need more pizzas. And so a lot of people left. So then I buy another pizza and I give you this. I say, okay, she's not wrong.
Comes back when she eats
And
it.
Gabe, I'll tell you, all of you guys, wait till I come back to class before we eat, right? Gabe sneaks in the classroom. Nobody's there.
You do that.
And guess what? Gabe eats 7 slices.
Okay.
Right? He ate 7 slices, right? So now, Gabe eats 7 slices. No, I said I bought another one. I bought another one. The other one I just threw away.
Slices.
So now you ate 7 slices, right? Assume. So now, 7 slices. What would that look like as a fraction? What would that look like? 7 out of 8, right? Now 7 out of 8. And now we're gonna learn how to write this as a terminating decimal. Terminating, right? Why is he saying terminating? Because when you divide it, what do you have? You have a terminating number. It does not keep going. It's ending at what? 5. So let's try to do that with 7 over 8, right? We're gonna put 8 here and then 7, right? How many times does 8 goes into 7? None. Can't happen, right? 0 again, we put a dot and turn this with 0. How many times does 8 goes into 70? 8 times, right? 8 times. What's 8 times 8?
64.
64, right? 64, 40, 10. That's 6, right? And then we add another 0. Now, how many times does 8 goes into 60? Hey. 7. Pay attention. That's enough.
Shake my head really hard.
Hey, Emily. How many times does 8 goes into 60? 7 times. No, 8 times, right? 7 times 8 is what? 56. 40, right? Now, how many times does 8 goes into 40? 5 times. So 8 times 5 is 40. Remember 0. So 7 over 8. If you want to turn, hey, that's enough. If you want to turn 7 over 8 into a decimal, terminating decimal, that is 0.875.
So we ate like
Right? So you ate about
80% of the pizza.
87.5% of the pizza. That's how much you ate. And it left about 12.5. Now let's assume that, so this is a game. You can see the first section is we are trying to turn what? Fractions into what? Terminating decimal. You need to understand what it is. A
I remember
terminating
doing
decimal
this
is
last
because
year.
when you divide them, you get a number and you get a remainder of 0. Anytime you get a remainder of 0, you have what we call a terminating decimal because it doesn't keep going. It stops at some point. Does that make sense? Right? Now the next type we're going to talk about is what we call the repeating decimal. So how are we going to learn how to write fractions? Write fractions as repeating decimals, right? So let's say we go back to our same picture now. Now let's say we buy this and Danielle, I put Danielle in charge. I said, Danielle, you can actually take care of this pizza, right? And she eats 3 slices. So she eats 3 slices of this pizza. Guys, pay attention here. Gabe, pay attention. All right, she eats 3 slices. How would that look like as a fraction?
You divide.
3 over what?
8.
It's 9 slices, right? We have 9 slices in total. She eats 3 slices. That's 3 out of 9. Okay? Now, I want to write this as a decimal, so I'm going to divide it. Right? I'm going to divide it. I'm going to put, right? I'm going to go 9 into 3, right? Again, what's going on here? Can 9 go into 3? That's an impossibility, right? So it's 0 point and then 30, right? How many times does 9 goes into 30? 3 times, right? 3 times 9 is what? 27, right? And then 7 out of 3 is 3 again, 30 here, right? And then what? 3 again, 27, right? 3 again.
It's never gonna be. It's never.
So what do you notice?
You do like the. You put a line. You put a line on the top. Yeah.
Put a line on top or a hat on top, right?
Yeah.
Because the numbers was repeating. It's not going forever. The remainder is now 0. So what we have is what we call repeating decimal. So you put a line on top to indicate that what you get is what? A set of repeating numbers. You get my point? Right?
Yeah.
So now let's say Who else do we? No, that's it. That's it. So now what I want to do, so we have, the first kind we have is terminating decimal when you have a remainder of 0. Does that make sense? A remainder of 0 meaning when you get a remainder of 0, then that's called a terminating decimal. When you don't have that and you have repeating numbers, so this is called repeating decimal, right? Repeating decimal. You put a hat on top to show that, okay? Now the next kind that we're going to talk about is when you have what you call, let's see, yeah, we're only going to discuss these two cases here, all right? And then we're going to learn how to compare fractions and decimals, right? How do you compare fractions and decimals? We're going to learn how to compare them. So assume that you want to compare 1 over 4 and 0.2. So we are comparing them now, comparing. Right? And we also want to compare, let's say, negative 5 over 8 and negative 6 over 9. So let's say I want to compare these two fractions, right? What can you do? I have 1 over 4 and 0.2. Which one is greater? Is it less than or greater? How do you know? What do you do? What can you do?
Turn the fraction into a decimal.
You can turn the fraction into a decimal or vice versa. You can turn the decimal into a fraction, right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this fraction into a decimal, right? So we're going to go 4 into 1. So how many times does 4 go into 1? Impossible, right? 0, dot, right? And then 10. So 4 goes into 10 how many times? Twice. 2 and 4, that's 8, right? We get 2 here, and what? 0. 5. So 20 minus 20 is 0. So this is a terminating decimal because it ends, right? So 1/4 is technically what? 0.25. Right now, let's compare that to 0.2. Which one is greater? This one is greater. So what do I put? Greater, right? So 0.25 is greater than 0.2, which means 1/4, which is its equivalent, is greater than 0.2. That makes sense? Now let's try to do with like negative fractions here. We have two negative fractions, right? No. So the first thing we want to do, we're going to disregard the negative for now, and then we're going to divide them each, right? So I'm going to go, so 8 into 5. So let's try that first, right? And then we're also going to try 9 into 6. So how many times does 8 go into 5? 0, right? And 50. 8 goes into 50. 6 times, right? That's 48. We have 20 here, right? 8 goes into 20. Dos, right? Twice. 16. And now we have 40. And that is 5, right? So that's 40. So again, that's the terminating decimal. So negative 5 over 8 is basically negative 0.625, right? Now let's do the same thing with 9 over 6. Not 6 over 9, I mean, right? 9 goes into 6. Again, 0 is 60. 9 goes into 60 how many times?
6.
6 times, thank you. That's 54. And then what? 6, right? 6. So as you can see, what's going to happen? It's going to keep being what? 6, 6, 6, 6, right?
Whoa.
I don't like that number.
That's the devil's number. My sister calls it the devil. What's
Right? So now, hold on a second.
It's this
Oh.
one.
So,
No, this one.
so which one is greater?
This one.
That one is greater, right? So this is going to be what? Greater. Right? And here, this one is less.
At the end
All right?
of class, can we show you my
That was
real
oh
laugh?
no.
Mr. Salami.
This one was greater.
Mr.
And this
Salami,
one
we
is
need to
greater.
show you Noah's real laugh.
Okay, in a little bit, I'll hear it. I just want to make sure I finish this first, and then we can do that. All right?
Yeah, but like mine.
Yours is
I didn't know that.
If you call my face, you're dead. Get it all out now.
I'll drink some water.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, this is this section. Okay, we have a few more minutes, so I want you to do this real quick. I want you to try to turn. I want you to compare these two fractions. You go ahead and you do that on your own. All right. So let's try to turn.
Caribbean queen.
Compare 7 over 8.
Mark,
And then 0.87. And then negative 7 over 15. And then negative 5 over 12. I want you to compare these two fractions. Go ahead and do it. And tell me which one is greater.
Is this the one we
Yep.
do headphones?
Do I have a what?
The Caribbean queen song.
No, I don't.
Caribbean queen.
Whatever that means.
Is that like negative